The Home Secretary set to introduce some of the government's toughest measures, at least that's what she calls it, on illegal migration, with countries that refuse to take back failed asylum seekers or foreign criminals to face a total visa ban. And speaking this afternoon, the Prime Minister's spokesperson said the current pace and scale of illegal migration is out of control and placing huge pressure on the communities.
Yeah, we're joined now by GB News Home and Security Editor Mark White. And we've talked to you before and said the thing is, we know so much about this now, we almost don't need to listen.
This important interruption is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Protect your money and your identity. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code here to get ExpressVPN right now and save up to 73% on annual plans today. Right, let's get back into it.
No, I think the interesting thing in the statement is not the statement itself, but what will the reaction be, particularly from members of our own party. We've had some Labour MPs come out very publicly and oppose this already at this early stage. There's no doubt there are aspects of what the Home Secretary is proposing here that they will find difficult to swallow. Those on the left of the party in particular, the narrowing, for instance, of the parameters around Article 8 of the European Convention on Human Rights. That's the right to a family life. Shabana Mahmood just wants that to involve very close family members, i.e. a spouse or a child. Other elements, of course, making asylum a temporary process, that there should be an expectation, should the situation improve in your home country, that you should return to that home country. There are many people that will say, you know, that those coming here, when they're here for any period of time, they settle, they put down roots, and that's, of course, how they can then claim, often under Article 8, a right to a family life, to be able to stay here. So there's lots of controversial aspects potentially to this. I'm not sure there's anything in what the Home Secretary has already pre-briefed out that in itself is going to make a significant difference. Everything taken in the round, I think the government hopes will have an impact. But even then, they say there's no silver bullet, that it's all part of a wider process of trying to make a hostile environment for those who are crossing illegally into the UK, and to make it much more difficult to claim asylum and for some of the benefits of being an asylum seeker in this country not to be as generous as they have been in the past, such as accommodation.
Yes, and the government appears to be trying to reduce the pull factors, so a sliding scale of visa sanctions for the countries who refuse to take that. They're illegal migrants, Article 8, we've been saying, right to family life, stop judges prioritising that, and all the rest of it. But the problem is, Mark, even if the government's saying they're going to do all these tough measures, and it does, in theory, would be reducing the pull factors, you have a lot of very left-leaning Labour backbenchers who, which we've seen previously, have kind of held the government to ransom and not allowed them to get these tough measures through, and therefore the watered-down measures won't make much of a difference when it comes to deterring illegal immigrants.
No, I think the biggest challenge here certainly could be trying to convince those rebellious backbenchers that this is a policy worth pursuing. As I say, we saw the absolute, embarrassing climb down that the government was forced into when they were trying to make savings in the welfare bill, and had to make so many changes that effectively it amounted to nothing in terms of savings that they were able to make. And if we get the same kind of rebellion this time around, it could be even more problematic, because this is an issue that is of such importance to people right around the country. Probably the number one topic for many people right around the country is the issue of migration, and in particular illegal migration, the strains that they see it putting on social cohesion in their communities, as well as the sort of the day-to-day impact of not being able to get, the doctor's appointments, a place in school, and all of the above.
Okay.
Every time you're online, your money and your identity are at risk. Scams now make up nearly 40% of all crime in the UK. That's thousands of attacks every single day. In Britain, someone has their identity stolen every 2 minutes, leaving victims with wrecked finances and years of stress. The threat is real, and you could be next. ExpressVPN is your shield against criminals. It locks down your devices, hiding your personal information and financial details from hackers, scammers, and anyone else looking to exploit you. So whether you're checking your bank, shopping, or just browsing, ExpressVPN makes you invisible to prying eyes trying to steal your money and your identity. ExpressVPN shields your data with military-grade AES 256 encryption. That's the same standard trusted by the US government to guard classified information. This is the highest level of online security you can get. So don't wait for disaster. Secure up to 14 devices at once and get powerful password protection. Real support is available 24/7 because cybercrime never sleeps. Save up to 73% on annual plans today. Every moment you hesitate is another moment you're exposed. Protect your money and protect your identity. Get ExpressVPN right now.
Thank you, Mark White, Home Security Editor.
Yeah, and we're now joined by Labour MP for Blackley and Middleton South. That's Graham Stringer. And Graham, as we've said, you know, the point is that quite a lot of what the Home Secretary is going to be saying a bit later on appears to have been leaked. I'm assuming that there is nothing that's going to change on that. But what are the parts that you're in favour of and which are the parts that you're not in favour of what we've heard so far?
I see it as a first step. It's much better than the idea that had no credibility whatsoever of smashing the gangs. We can't smash the gangs in Liverpool and Birmingham and London, so why we should be able to smash gangs operating on an international basis, I never understood. It was not a credible policy. Some of the things that Shabana, I believe, will propose later this afternoon are good. It takes the pull factor out of it. It makes this country less attractive. It says no, some people won't be given asylum, and it alters the rights, not the rights, it alters the basis of appeal. I don't think it goes far enough. I don't think we will get anywhere in dealing with this problem, and it is a problem. The electorate sees it as a problem. It's an economic problem until we actually get out of the European Convention on Human Rights.
I'm presumably, as you say, you don't think these measures go far enough, and yet we're hearing that there are perhaps a number of other Labour MPs who are concerned that these are actually too harsh measures coming from a Labour government and therefore will not support the government on this. What are you hearing from talking to other Labour MPs in terms of the support for Shabana Mahmood's proposals? But also the other point, of course, is this clearly is an issue for the electorate. Labour is not doing well in the polls, so surely the Labour backbenchers as a whole need to kind of get behind the government on an issue like this if they want to win the next election.
I think there will have to be a major debate within the Parliamentary Labour Party, but your fundamental point I agree with, and I think it will be more persuasive than ministers at the end of the day. MPs who wish to stand for election again and get elected have to convince their electorate, and this is always within the top three issues of concern to the electorate. So if MPs don't get behind it in this or a slightly modified or increased form, then the electorate will take their revenge, I think. I think that's much more important than the debate with Shabana, who is, I think, going down the correct road on this issue. She may have to go a bit further and a bit faster, but eventually we have to solve this problem, or the electorate will take its revenge on us. Because fundamentally, forgetting the details of asylum policy, if a government can't actually decide who is coming into this country, if they don't know who is coming into this country, they're not a government.
Yeah. Graham, thank you very much. That's Graham Stringer there, Labour MP. Yes, there are so many other things in this that we haven't really talked about, but like, for example, you limit failed asylum seekers to one appeal only, for example. I mean, as you were talking about, there are certain things that a lot of people would not object to.
Yes.
Just leave it at one.
And of course, there is allegations that lawyers perhaps are making a lot of money out of failed asylum claims because asylum seekers sometimes just keep doing appeal after appeal after appeal, gets clogged up in the courts, and then, of course, they never leave. Lots of you, of course, have been getting in touch as well on this. gbnews.com/yoursay if you want to join the conversation. Bob says stop all legal aid for migrants, and also stop paying on the lawyer point. Stop paying charities that provide legal aid to the migrants. And Adrian says to stop the boats, Shabana Mahmood, the Home Secretary, needs to stop all the benefits that they receive when they arrive here. If you give them nothing, they won't come. I suppose the problem is when they do arrive on a small boat, where are they going to go?
Well, they'd live on the streets then and make it. You'd just have that problem as well.
Yeah.
You just have more problems. Just pushing the can. What do they say? Kicking the can down the road.
But that's happening in central London. You see it in Hyde Park Corner and Park Lane. All these migrant tents kind of springing up near Winter Wonderland, which of course is meant to be a family-friendly thing. There's concerns about that, and the council have nowhere to put them. So it's a really delicate balance here. The issue is, of course, trying to, as Shabana Mahmood is trying to do, reduce the pull factor to stop them coming in the first place. But we just don't know if it's going to happen. But it has happened in Denmark.
I was just about to mention about Denmark because there are also various things that you just think, well, why has this not happened before? For example, learn how to speak the language.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Danish is different, and there are cases for the reason why people come to Britain is because English is often a second language for people. But yes, there are other things. And extend the wait for permanent settlement from 5 years to 20 years. I mean, some people think that's far too long, but anyway.